Here we go.
We're going.
Now the sun arose and left the lovely mere, speeding to the brazen heaven to give light to the immortals and to mortal men on the earth. The grain giver, and they reached Pylos, the established castle of Neleus. There, the people, were doing fucking.
What are you doing?
See that in mine? I don't see that on mine.
No.
I just
not
gotta.
right.
It says
I just
there
gotta
the
get a
people were
really
doing sacrifice on the shores.
gnarly
A lot
headache.
of prepositions.
Okay.
Maybe a cuss word or two.
What happened? Did you hurt yourself?
Oh yeah, my head just started to really hurt.
Uh-oh.
I'm good.
It's because you were flexing too much. You're
We're
not
good.
supposed to do
Yes,
that.
I know. That was me yesterday. My legs hurt really bad. There, the people were doing sacrifice on the seashore, slaying black bulls without spot to the dark-haired god, the shaker of the earth.
Was
9
Sally
companies
also
were
there, selling
and
seashells?
500 men sat in each and every company. They held 9 bulls, ready to hand. Just as they had tasted the inner parts, they were burning the slices of the thighs on the altar to the god. The others were bearing straight to the land, and brailed up the sails of the gallant ship and moored her, and themselves came forward, and Telemachus too
There you go.
stepped forth from the ship, and Athene led the way, and the goddess, great-eyed Athene, spake first to him, saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, am I still going? Okay.
I
think we agreed several paragraphs.
Not now be abashed, no, not one whit. For to this very end didst thou sail over the deep, and thou mightest hear tidings of thy father, even where the earth closed over him, and what manner of death he met. But come now, go straight to Nestor, tamer of horses. Let us learn what counsel he hath in the secret of his heart, and beseech him thyself that he may give unerring answer, and he will not lie to thee, for he is very wise." The wise Telemachus answered, saying, "Mentor, and how shall I go? How shall I greet him? I, who am untried in words of wisdom. Moreover, a young man may well be abashed to question an elder."
Should I pick it up now?
Sure. Yeah, that was quite a bit. So
You can
Yeah, that
say
was quite a
Full Metal
Go
Alchemist
ahead.
if you want to switch over.
Full Metal Hephaestus.
That's our rule around
Accurate.
here, right?
Honestly, accurate.
I love how you turned off your mic for that laugh.
I didn't.
Oh, it didn't pick it up.
It's just
Yeah, it just
Discord
cut it
being
out.
silly.
This Discord being
Yeah.
stupid.
Celine, our rule
It
here
doesn't
is
like my hearty laugh.
when you're done reading a few paragraphs, you hand it over by saying Full Metal Alchemist, and then
Or some
the next
version
person.
of that.
Yes, or some version, some variation, and then someone picks it up by saying Full Metal Alchemist.
Exactly. So, Full Metal Alchemist. Then the goddess grey-eyed Athene spake to him again, Telemachus, thou shalt bethink thee of somewhat in thine own breast, and somewhat the god will give thee to say, for thou, methinks, of all the men, wert not born and bred without the will of the gods. So spake Pallas Athena, and led the way quickly, and he followed hard in the steps of the goddess. And they came to the gathering and the session of the men of Pylos. There was Nestor seated with his sons, and round him his company making ready the feast, and roasting some of the flesh and spitting the other. Now when they saw the strangers, they went all together, and clasped their hands in welcome, and would have them sit down. Sorry. Lost my spot.
First.
There it is. First,
Pastries.
Ooh, my tinnitus is popping off again.
first Pisistratus son of Nestor, drew nigh and took the hands of each and made them to sit down at the feast on soft fleeces upon the sea sand, beside his brother Thrasymedes and his father. And he gave them messes of the inner meat, and poured wine into a golden cup, and pledging her, he spake unto Pelasithene, daughter of Zeus, lord of the Aegis. Pray now, my guest, to the Lord Poseidon, even as it is his feast whereon ye have chanced in coming hither. And when thou hast made drink offering and prayed as is due, give thy friend also the cup of honeyed wine to make offering thereof, inasmuch as he too, methinks, prayeth to the deathless gods, for all men stand in need of the gods. Howbeit he is younger, and mine own equal in years. Therefore to thee first will I give the golden chalice. I think that was enough. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Hephaestus.
Yeah.
Therewith he placed in her hand the cup of sweet wine. And Athene rejoiced in the wisdom and judgment of the man, in that he had given to her the first chalice of gold. And straightway she prayed in that instantly to the Lord Poseidon. Hear me, Poseidon, girdler of the earth, and grudge not the fulfillment of this labor in answer to our prayer. To Nestor first, and to his sons, vouchsafe renown, and thereafter grant to all the people of Pylos a gracious recompense for the splendid hecatomb. Hecatomb or hecatomb?
I think Hecatomb.
Hecatomb.
Acheron.
Grant
Acheron.
moreover that Telemachus and I may return when we have accomplished that for which we came hither with our swift black ship. Now, as she prayed on this wise, herself the while was fulfilling the prayer, and she gave Telemachus the fair two-handled cup, and in like mannered prayer the dear sons of Odysseus. Then, when the others had roasted the outer parts and drawn them off the spits, they divided the messes and shared the glorious feast. But when they had put from them the desire of meat and drink, Nestor of Gerenia, lord of chariots, first spake among them. Full Metal Hephaestus.
Celine, are you back? Are you able to do
Is
the
that
things?
my cue then?
Yeah.
I can keep going if you need a second.
No. Let's see here. First spake among them, correct?
Yes.
Now is the time to inquire and ask of the strangers who they are, now that they have had their delight of food. Strangers, who are you? Whence sail ye over the wet ways? On some trading enterprise, or at adventure do ye rove, even as sea robbers over the brine, for they wander at hazard of their own lives, bringing bale to alien men?
And the wise Telemachus answered him and spake with courage, for Athena herself had put boldness in his heart, that he might ask about his father who was afar, and that he might be had in good report among men. Nestor, son of Neleus, great glory of the Achaeans, thou askest whence we are, and I will surely tell thee all. We have come forth out of Ithaca that is below Neon, and this is our quest whereof I speak is a matter of my own, and not of the common weal. I follow after the far-spread rumour of my father, if haply I may hear thereof, even of the godly steadfast Odysseus, whom upon a time men say fought by thy side and sacked the city of the Trojans. For all of the others, as many as warned with the Trojans, we hear tidings, and where each one fell by a pitiful death. But even the death of this man Cronion hath left untold, for none can surely declare the place where he hath perished, whether he was smitten by foemen on the mainland, or lost upon the deep among the waves of Amphitrite. So now am I come hither to thy knees, if perchance thou art willing to tell me of his pitiful death, as one that saw it with thine own eyes, or heard the story from some other wanderer, for his mother bare him to exceeding sorrow. And speak me no soft words in wrath or pity, But tell me plainly, what sight thou didst get of him? Oh, I pray thee, if ever at all my father, noble Odysseus, made promise to thee of word or work, and fulfilled the same in the land of the Trojans, where ye Achaeans suffered affliction, these things I pray thee now remember, and tell me truth. Then Nestor, lord of Grenia, lord of chariots, answered him,
My friend, since thou hast brought sorrow back to mind, behold, this is the story of the woe which we endured in that land, we sons of the Achaeans, unrestrained in fury, and of all that we bore in wanderings after spoil, sailing with our ships over the misty deep wheresoever Achilles led, and of all our war round the mighty burg of King Priam. Yea, and here the best of us were slain. There lies valiant Aias, and there Achilles, and there Patroclus, the peer of the gods in council, and there my own dear son, strong and noble, Antilochus, that excelled in speed of foot and in the fight, and many other ills we suffered beside these, who of mortal men could tell the tale. Nay, none, though thou wert to abide here for 5 years, aye, and for 6, and ask of all the ills which the goodly Achaeans then endured. Ere all was told thou wouldst be wearied, and turn to thine own country. For 9 whole years we were busy about them, devising their ruin with all manner of craft, and scarce did Cronion bring it to pass. There never was a man durst match with him in wisdom, for goodly Odysseus far outdid the rest in all manner of craft. Odysseus, thy father, if indeed thou art his son. Amazement comes upon me as I look at thee, for verily thy speech is like unto his. None would say that a younger man would speak so like an elder. Now look you, all the while that myself and goodly Odysseus were there, we never spake diversely either in the assembly or in the council, but always were of one mind, and advised Argives with understanding and sound counsel, how all might be for the very best. But after we had sacked the steep city of Priam, and had departed in our ships, and a god had scattered the Achaeans, even then did Zeus devise in his heart a pitiful returning for the Argives, for in no wise were they all discreet or just. Wherefore many of them met with an ill faring by reason of the deadly wrath of the grey-eyed goddess, the daughter of the mighty sire, who set debate between the 2 sons of Atreus. And they twain called to the gathering the host all of the Achaeans, recklessly and out of order, against the going down of the sun. And lo, the sons of the Achaeans came heavy with wine. And Atreus spake out and told the reason therefore they had assembled the host. Then, verily, Menelaus charged all the Achaeans to bethink them of returning over the broad back of the sea, but in no sort did he please Agamemnon, whose desire was to keep back the host and to offer holy hecatombs, that he might appease the dread wrath of Athena. Fool, for he knew not this, that she was never to be won, for the mind of the everlasting gods is not lightly turned to repentance. So these twain stood bandying hard words, but the goodly grieved Achaeans sprang up with a wondrous din, and 2-fold counsels found favour among them, so that one night we rested, thinking hard things against each other, for Zeus was fashioning for us a ruinous doom. But in the morning, when the one part drew our ships to the fair salt sea, and put aboard our wealth, the low-girdled Trojan women, now one half the people abode steadfastly there, with Agamemnon, son of Atreus, shepherd of the host, and half of us embarked and drave to sea, and swiftly the ship sailed, for a god made smooth the sea with the depths thereof. Holy
you need
cow,
a drink
how
of
many
water?
pages is this paragraph gonna go on?
You
I was
hand
gonna
it off
say,
if
if
you
you
want.
wanted to stop in the middle of this, you could, because it goes on for like a couple more pages.
So, is this the Iliad inside of the Odyssey?
Pretty much.
Kind
Oh my
of,
God.
yes. Plus a little bit extra because, the Iliad
Flourish.
actually stops at the death of Hector. But
Oh my god.
yeah, so he's basically giving Telemachus the cliff notes of this. And
It's
I'm
giving
tempted
One
to
Piece
go.
filler.
I am tempted to
Oh,
finish
man.
this just out of spite now.
Hey,
Do it, do it,
that's
do
fun.
it.
So-
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, hold on, let me take one more sip and I'm gonna dive right back into
Yeah,
this fight.
take however many breaks you need to take, but you're
Yes.
killing it.
Oh, that was flat.
That was flat. Oh, heck. Why do I have a flat soda next to my real soda?
That happens to me all the time.
Glad I'm not alone. And when he came to Tenedos, we did sacrifice to the gods, being eager for the homeward way. But Zeus did not yet purpose our returning. Nay, hard was he that roused once more an evil strife among us. Then some turned back their curved ships and went their way, even the company of Odysseus, the wise and manifold in council, once again showing a favor to Agamemnon, son of Atreus. But I fled on with the squadron that followed me, for I knew how now the god imagined mischief, and the warlike son of Tydeus fled and roused his men thereto. And late in our track came Menelaus of the fair hair, who found us in Lesbos, considering about the long voyage, whether we should go seaward of craggy Chios by the Isle of Syria, keeping the isle upon our left, or inside Chios past windy Mimas. So we asked the god to show us a sign, and the sign he declared to us, and bade us cleave a path across the middle sea to Euboea, that we might flee the swiftest way from sorrow. And a shrill wind rose and blew, and the ships ran most fleetly over the teeming ways, and in the night they touched at Grastius. So there we sacrificed many thighs of bulls to Poseidon, for joy that we had measured out so great a stretch of sea. It was the 4th day when the company of Diomedes, son of Tydeus, tamer of horses, moored their gallant ships at Argos. But I held on for Pylos, and the breeze was never quenched from the hour that the god set it forth to blow. Even so I came, dear child, without tidings, nor know I aught of those others, which of the Achaeans were saved and which were lost. But all that I hear tell of as I sit in our halls thou shalt learn as it is meet, and I will hide nothing from thee. Safely, they say, came the Myrmidons, the wild spearmen, whom the famous son of high-souled Achilles led, and safely Philoctetes, the glorious son of Poeas, and... let's see, who else was there? Idomeneus brought all his company to Crete, all that had escaped the war, and from him the sea gat none. And of the son of Atreus even yourselves have heard, far apart though you dwell, how he came, and how Aegistheus devised his evil end. But verily he himself paid a terrible reckoning. So good a thing it is that a son of the dead should still be left, even as that son also took vengeance on the slayer of his father, guileful Aegisthus, who slew his famous sire. And thou too, my friend, for I see thee very comely and tall. Be valiant, that even men unborn may praise thee.
Woo!
Full Metal Hephaestus.
Thank you. My 3
Damn, that took
takeaways from
forever.
that were Hideous, Lesbos.
There.
They went to go touch Garastus. And yeah. That was good. Thank you.
My
Zeus
God,
was
that-
also.
Oh, and they made
roused
Mimas.
in part.
Yeah, they were also roused. The Tydeus had came. That's what I got. Thank you, Celine. Take your water and drink.
Take a nice long break.
Yeah, I'll take a break until y'all are ready for me to read again. I just was surprised because,
My
like,
God.
Honey got, what, 4 lines? Fudge got maybe 6. And then they're like, here, have 3 pages with no warning.
You're
Wow.
allowed to break in the middle of a monologue. There's no rule. Whenever you want to
Yeah,
break,
that's
you
it.
break.
Yeah.
Look,
But I would
if-
just say 3 or 4 paragraphs is good.
Yeah, but she saw a challenge and she decided to rise to the occasion.
True.
Oh, yeah, no, this is my jam. So if I'm reading too much, y'all can cut me off. But, yeah.
R.W. Bryant says Celine is the biggest of the heckin' nerds.
The heckin' nerds.
Hello, Brian. Welcome in. Hope you've been behaving yourself. Without the mod powers here to misbehave with, I doubt you're going to have too much trouble. For those not already familiar, Brian is one of my mods, as well as a streamer in his own right. He's been doing some plans for a, well, we'll deal with that later if you decide to shout him out.
Okay.
I love it.
All right.
Welcome in.
Full Metal Hephaestus.
Hephaestus.
And wise Telemachus answered him and said, Nestor, son of Neleus, great glory of the Achaeans, Verily and indeed he avenged himself, and the Achaeans shall noise his fame abroad, that even those may hear who and yet for to be. Oh, that the gods would clothe me with such strength as his, that I might take vengeance on the wooers for their cruel transgression, who wantonly devise against me infatuate deed. But the gods have woven for me the web of no such weal, for me or for my sire. But now I must in any wise endure it. Then Nestor of Gurania, what of the chariots, made answer, Dear friend, seeing thou dost call these things to my remembrance, and speak thereof, they tell me that many wooers for thy mother's hand plan mischief within the halls in thy despite. Say, dost thou willingly submit thee to oppression, or do the people through the land hate thee obedient to the voice of a god? Who knows but that Odysseus may some day come and requite their violence, either himself alone, or all the host of the Achaeans with him. Ah, if but grey-eyed Athena were inclined to love thee, as once she cared exceedingly for the renowned Odysseus in the land of the true. For we Achaeans were sore afflicted, for never yet have I seen the gods show forth such manifest love, as did Pallas Athena, standing manifest by him. If she would be pleased so to love thee and to care for thee, then might certain of them clean forget their marriage. And wise Telemachus answered him, saying, Old man, in no wise, methinks, shall this word be accomplished. This is a hard saying of thine. Awe comes over me. Not for my hopes shall this thing come to pass, not even if the gods so willed it. Then the goddess, grey-eyed Athena, spake to him again. Telemachus, what word hath escaped the door of thy lips? Lightly might a god, if so he would, bring a man safe home, even from afar. Rather myself would I travail, and much pain ere I came home and saw the day of my returning, and come back and straightway perish on my own hearthstone, even as Agamemnon perished by guile at the hands of his own wife and Aegisthus. But lo, you, death, which is common to all, the very gods cannot avert even from the man they love, when their ruinous doom shall bring him low of death that lays men at their length. Full metal.
You okay there? You kind of fizzled out. Just a smidge. And wise Telemachus answered her, saying, Mentor, no longer let us tell of these things, sorrowful though we be. There is none assurance any more of his returning, but already have the deathless gods devised for him death and black fate. But now I would question Nestor, and ask him of another matter. As one who above all men knows judgments and wisdom, for thrice men say, he hath been king through the generations of men. Yea, like an immortal he seems to me to look upon. Nestor, son of...
What?
Son of Neleus, now tell me true. How died the son of Atreus, Agamemnon of the wide domain? Where is Menelaus? What death did crafty... Oh, Jesus, fucking names.
Ah, Jesus. What did crafty a Jesus?
No, that's not how you pronounce it.
Agathis,
Aegisthus.
Aegisthus.
It's just this.
It's
It's just this.
Aegisthus. Sorry,
It's just
that
this,
word,
Jesus.
That word, Aegis, I always want to pronounce it as Aegis.
You just.
It could. I think it's Aegis or Aegis.
Cipher pull
I've noticed
Aegis
it
0.
Aegis.
Aegis.
Ah, Jesus. It's just this.
Ah, Jesus.
Just this.
Just this.
Plan for him, in that he killed a man more valiant far than he? Or was it Menelaus and not in Argos of Achaea, but wandering elsewhere among men, and that other took heart and slew Agamemnon. Alright, what is that word? Gerenia? Harenia?
I think I
Garenia?
said Garenia.
Garenia.
The Nestor of Gerenia, Lord of the Chariots, answered him, Yeah, now, ye know, my child, I will tell thee the whole truth. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, what's
We
happening?
discussed it.
Yes.
Just this.
No, not that. I just saw no clear end real quick. I was like, wait a minute.
Uh-oh. What?
Okay, you can break in the middle of it. It's okay.
I know. That's what I'm trying to see. Then Nestor of Gerenia, Lord of Chariots, answered, Ye now, my child, I will tell thee the whole truth. Verily thou guessest all aright even of thyself, how things would have fallen out if Menelaus of the fair hair, the son of Atreus, when he came back from Troy, had found Aegisthus yet alive in the halls. Then even in his death would they not have heaped the piles of earth over him, but dogs and fowls of the air would have devoured him as he lay on the plain far from the town. Nor
He's in
would
my
any
halls.
of the Aeacian women have bewailed him, so dread was the deed he contrived. Now we sat in leisure there,
Or leisure?
achieving
Eager
many
leaguer.
adventures.
Leisure?
But
I'm
he
a
the
leisure
while
leaguer.
in peace in the heart of Argos, the pasture land of horses, spake oft times, tempting her, the wife of Agamemnon. Barely at the first she would none of the foul deed. The fair, oh Jesus, Clytemnestra, yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one.
Clytemnestra.
Clytemnestra.
Fair clit.
Wow. Where she had a good understanding.
Thank you.
My God.
Moreover, there was with her a minstrel, whom the son of Atreus straitly charged, as he went to Troy to have a care for his wife. But when at last the doom of the gods bound her to her ruin, then did Aegisthus carry the minstrel to a lonely isle and left him there to be the prey and spoil of birds. While as for her, he led her to his house, a willing lover with a willing lady. And he burnt
Mhm.
okay. And he burnt many thigh slices upon the holy altars of the gods, and hung up many offerings, woven work, and God seeing that he had accomplished a great deed beyond all hope. Now we, I say, were sailing together on our way from Troy, the son of Atreus and I, as loving friends.
Kissy
But
kissy.
when we had reached holy Sinium, the headlands of Athens, where Phoebus Apollo slew the pilot of Menelaus with the visitations of his gentle shafts, yeah, as he held between his hands the rudder of the running ship.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Rudders and shafts?
Patroclus, son of an Oneter,
Oneter.
Oneater?
Onitor.
who excelled the tribes of men in piloting a ship when so the storm winds were hurrying by. Thus was Menelaus holden there, so eager for the way, till he might bury his friend and pay the last rites over him. But when he, in his turn, faring over the wine dark sea in hollow ships, reached in swift course and steeped a mount of Malea, then it was that Zeus of the far-born voice devised a hateful path, and shed upon them the breath of the shrill winds, and great swelling waves arose like unto mountains. Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh, there it is.
Pokemon?
No, I lost my place.
Oh.
Oh.
There sundered he the fleet in twain, and part thereof he brought nigh to Crete, where the Sidonians dwelt about the streams of Lardanus.
No, Eardinus.
Eardinus.
What?
That's an I.
No.
I mean,
it's clearly Lard as a lard, and then Anus
It's
is
an-
anus. Lord
Stare at the
Anus.
top on the bottom.
Lard Anus.
It's Eardinus.
Lard ass.
No.
Eardinus.
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 Yo, the Sidonians were lard asses.
Lard ass.
Now there is a certain cliff, smooth and sheer towards the sea, on the border of Gorton, in the misty deep, where the southwest wind drives a great wave against the left headland towards fucking
Festus.
Festus.
Festus. Is that Festus?
That's
Fiestus.
That's
Fiestus.
That's Festus.
Fiestus.
Just no he.
And the lit rock keeps back the mighty water. Thither came one part of the fleet, and the men scarce escaped destruction. But the ships were broken by the waves against the rock, while those other 5 dark-prowed ships the wind and the water bare and brought nigh to Egypt. Thus Menelaus gathered much livelihood and gold, and wandering there with his ships among men of strange speech, and even then Aegisthus planned that pitiful work at home, and for 7 years he ruled over Mycenae,
Yes.
Mycenae,
All of them. All of them.
Mycenae.
All of the above.
Mycenae, rich in
Mycenae.
gold, after he slew the son of Atreus, and the people were subdued unto him. But in the 8th year came upon him goodly Orestes, come
Orestes.
back from Athens. Fucking whatever. Athens to be his bane, and and slew the slayer of his father, guileful Aegisthus, who killed his famous sire. Now then, he had slain him. He made a funeral feast to the Argives over his hateful mother and over the craven Aegisthus. And on the self-same day, there came to him Menelaus of the loud war cry, bringing much treasure, even all the freight of his ships. So thou, my friend, wander not long far away from home, leaving thy substance behind thee, and then in thy house, so wanton, lest they divide and utterly devour all thy wealth, and thou shalt have gone on a vain journey. Rather I bid and command thee to go to Menelaus, for he hath lately come from a strange country, from the land of men whence none would hope in his heart to return, whom once the storms had driven wandering into so wide a sea. Thence not even the birds can make their way in the space of 1 year. So great a sea it is, and terrible. But go now with thy ship and with thy company, or if thou hast a mind to fare by land, I have a chariot and horses at thy service. Yet, my sons, to do thy will, who will be thy guides to goodly, I see Cleveland, where is Menelaus of the fair hair. Do thou thyself entreat him, that he may give thee an erring answer. He will not lie to thee, for he is very wise.
Hello, Cleveland.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
My goodness.
Fuck out of here.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is the music coming through on your end, Satil? Or
Yes.
no? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Do I start from reading or do I start from thus?
Like that.
Thus he spake.
I
That's a
think reading
footnote.
is a footnote.
That's what I thought. It just doesn't appear as a footnote on the thing I'm reading from, so it just looks like it's part of it. But I'm like, that doesn't read right. So, all right. Thus he
18
spake,
footnote.
and the sun went down, and darkness came on. Then the goddess grey-eyed Athena spake among them, saying, Yea, old man, thou hast told all this thy tale aright, but come cut up the tongues of the victims and mix the wine, that we may pour forth before Poseidon and the other deathless gods, and so may bethink us of sleep, for it is the hour for sleep. For already has the light gone beneath the west, and it is not seemly to sit long at a banquet of the gods, but to be going home. So spake the daughter of Zeus, and they hearkened to her voice. And the henchmen poured water over their hands, and pages crowned the mixing bowls with drink, and served out the wine to all, after they had first poured for libation into each cup in turn, and they cast the tongues upon the fire, and stood up and poured the drink offering thereon. But when they had poured forth and had drunken to their heart's content, Athena and the godlike Telemachus were both set on returning to the hollow ship. But Nestor would have stayed them and accosted them, saying, Zeus forfend it, and all the other deathless gods, that ye should depart from my house to the swift ship, as from the dwelling of one that is utterly without raiment, or a needy man, who hath not rugs or blankets many in his house whereon to sleep softly, he or his guests. Nay, not so. I have rugs and fair blankets by me. Never, methinks, shall the dear son of this man, even of Odysseus, lay him down upon the ship's deck, while as yet I am alive, and my children after me are left in my hall to entertain strangers, whoso may chance to come to my house. I need to change the font on this shit. I'm
Comic
trying so hard.
Sans.
Right. Then the goddess grey-eyed Athena spake to him again. Yea, herein hast thou spoken aright, dear father, and Telemachus may well obey thee, for before all things this is meet. Behold, he shall now depart with thee, that he may sleep in thy halls. As for me, I will go to the black ship, that I may cheer my company and tell them all. For I avow me to be the one elder among them. Those others are but younger men, who follow for love of him, all of them of like age with the high-souled Telemachus. There will I lay me down by the black hollow ship this night, but in the morning I will go to the Caconians,
Yeah.
high of heart, where somewhat of mine is owing to me. No small debt, nor of yesterday, but do thou send this man upon his way with thy chariot and thy son, since he hath come to thy house, and give him horses and the lightest of foot and chief in strength. All right, I'm gonna take a moment to change this shit. Let's go ahead and do Full Metal Alchemist, so I can
Okay.
change this.
So you stopped at chief in strength?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Full Metal Hephaestus. Therewith grey-eyed Athene departed in the semblance of a sea eagle. And amazement fell on all that saw it, and the old man he marveled when his eyes beheld it. And he took the hand of Telemachus, and spake and hailed him. My friend, methinks that thou wilt in no sort be a coward and a weakling, if indeed in thy youth the gods thus follow with thee to be thy guides. For truly this is none other of those who keep the mansions of Olympus, save only the daughter of Zeus. The driver of the spoil, the maiden Trito-born, she that honored thy good father too among the Argives. Nay, be gracious, queen, and vouchsafe a goodly frame to me, even to me and to my sons and to my wife revered. And I, in turn, will sacrifice to thee a yearly heifer, broad of brow, unbroken, which man never yet hath led beneath the yoke. Such an one will I offer to thee, and gild her horns with gold. Even so he spake in prayer, and Pallas Athene heard him. Then Nestor of Gerenia, lord of chariots, led them, even his sons and the husbands of his daughters, to his own fair house. But when they had reached this prince's famous halls, they sat down all orderly on seats and high chairs, and when they were come, The old man mixed well for them a bowl of sweet wine, which now, in the 11th year from the vintaging, the housewife opened, and unloosed the string that fastened the lid. The old man let mix a bowl thereof, and prayed instantly to Athene, as he poured forth before her, even to the daughter of Zeus, lord of the Aegis. Full metal Hephaestus.
But after they had poured forth and had drunken to their heart's content, these went each to his own house to lie down to rest. But Nestor of Gerenia, lord of chariots, would needs have Telemachus, son of divine Odysseus, to sleep there on a jointed bedstead beneath the echoing gallery, and by him Pisistratus of the good ashen spear, leader of men, who alone of his sons was yet unwed in his halls. As for him, he slept within the inmost chamber of the lofty house. Sorry, just got a ping from someone. It was silly. And the lady of his wife arrayed for him bedstead and bedding. Soon as the early dawn shone forth, the rosy-fingered Nestor of Gerenia, lord of chariots, gat him up from his bed, and he went forth and sat him down upon the smooth stones which were before his lofty doors, all polished white and glistening, whereon Neleus sat of old in council of the peer of the gods. Howbeit, stricken by fear, had he ere now gone down to the house of Hades, and today Nestor of Gerenia, in his turn, sat thereon, warder of the Achaeans, with his staff in his hands. And about him his sons were gathered and come together, issuing forth from their chambers, Cepharon and Stratius, and Perseus and Atreus, and Perseus and Aretus, and the godlike Thrasymedes, and sixth and last came the hero Pisistratus, and they led godlike Telemachus and set him by their side, and Nestor of Gerenia, lord of chariots, spake first among them.
Quickly, my dear children, accomplish my desire, that the first of all the gods I may propitiate Athena, who came to me in visible presence to the rich feast of the god. Nay then, let one go to the plain for a heifer, that she may come as soon as may be, and that the neat herd may drive her. And let another go to the black ship of high-souled Telemachus to bring all his company, and let him leave only 2 men only. And let one again bid Laertius, son the goldsmith, to come hither, that he may be gild of the horns of the heifer. And ye others, abide ye here together, and speak to the handmaids within, that they may make ready a banquet through our famous halls, and fetch seats and logs to set about the altar, and bring clear water. Thus he spake, and lo, they all hastened to work. The heifer she came from the field, and from the swift gallant ship came the company of the great-hearted Telemachus. The smith came holding in his hands his tools, the instruments of his craft, anvil and hammer and well-made pincers, wherewith he wrought the gold. Athena too came to receive her sacrifice, and the old knight Nestor gave gold, and the other fashioned it skilfully, and gilded therewith the horns of the heifer, that the goddess might be glad at the sight of her fair offering. And Stratius and goodly Cepharon led by the heifer by the horns, and Arteus came forth from the chamber bearing water for the washing of hands in a basin of flowered work, and the other hand he held the barley meal in a basket, and Thrasymedes, steadfast in the battle, stood by holding in his hand a sharp axe, ready to smite the heifer. And Perseus held the dish for the blood, and the old man Nestor, driver of chariots, performed the first rite of the washing of hands and the sprinkling of the meal, and he prayed instantly to Athena that, as he began the rite, casting into the fire the lock from the head of the victim. Now, when they had prayed and tossed the sprinkled grain, straightway the son of Nestor, gallant Thrasymedes, stood by and struck the blow, and the axe severed the tendons of the neck and loosened the might of the heifer, and the women raised their cry, the daughters and sons' wives, and the wife of revered of Nestor, Eurydice, eldest of the daughters of Clymenus. And now they lifted the victim's head from the wide-wade earth,
and held it so, while Parastratus, leader of the men, cut the throat. And after the black blood had gushed forth and the life had left the bones, quickly they broke up the body, and anon cut slices from the thighs all dearly, and wrapped the same in the fat, holding them double, and laid raw flesh thereon. So that old man burnt them on the cleft wood, and poured over them the red wine, and by his side the young men held in their hands the 5-pronged forks. Now after that the thighs were quite consumed, and they had tasted the inner parts, they cut the rest up small, and spitted and roasted it, holding the sharp spits in their hands. Meanwhile she bathed Telemachus, even fair Polycaste, the young daughter of Nestor, son of Neleus. And after she had bathed him and anointed him with olive oil, and cast about him a goodly mantle and a doublet, he came forth from the bath in fashion like the deathless gods. So he went and sat him down by Nestor, shepherd of the people, full metal Hephaestus.
Oh, metal Hephaestus. Now, when they had roasted the outer
Lardinus, what?
flesh... What?
That was another one of the ones.
I should have Hephaestus.
Fantastic.
I don't know what's happening. Now when they had roasted...
You're way off topic, chat. Is
Alright.
getting Belgided.
Oh.
Oh my god.
There's stuff happening in the Discord that I'm not looking at right now. Are they talking about lard ass from earlier?
Lardinus.
Pronunciation. It's
Lard
pronunciation.
You're
Yeah.
making a note before I forget. That's all.
Telemachus. Jesus. Lardinus.
Now when they had roasted the outer flesh and drawn it off the spits, they had sat down and fell to the feasting. Honorable men waited on them, pouring wine into the golden cups. When they had put from them the desire of meat and drink, Nestor of Gerenia, Lord of Chariots, again, first spake among them, Lo now, my sons, yoke for Telemachus, horses with flowing mane, and lead them beneath the car, that he may get forward on his way. Even so he spake, and they gave good heed, and hearkened. Quickly they yoked the swift horses beneath the chariot. And the dame that kept the stores placed therein corn and wine and dainties, such as princes eat, the fosterlings of Zeus. So Telemachus stepped up into the goodly car, and with him Pisistratus, son of Nestor, leader of men, likewise climbed the car and grasped the reins in his hands, and he touched the horses with the whip to start them. And nothing
Top of
loth
the
the
morning.
pair flew, towards the plain, and left the steep citadel of Pylos. Now, so, all day long, they swayed the yoke they bore upon their necks. Now the sun sank, and all the ways were darkened, and they came to Phere, host of Diocles, son of Orsilochus. Yeah. The child begotten of Alpheus. There they rested for the night, and by them he set the entertainment of strangers. Now so soon as early dawn shone forth, the rosy-fingered, they yoked the horses and mounted the inlaid car. Forth they drave from the gateway and echoing gallery, and Pisistratus touched the horses. Pisistratus touched the horses with the whip to start them, and the pair flew onward, nothing loth. So they came to the wheat-bearing plain, and thenceforth they pressed toward the end. Wise did the swift horses speed forward. Now the sun sank, and all the ways were darkened. That is book 3.
Hey.
And we're at an hour and a half, where it's just exactly where I wanted to be. Wow.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect. What, before we log off, I suppose, should we, I see what Baljeet wrote in here now.
Yeah.
Telemachus.
Should we decide on another day to meet? I mean, I feel like I really want to
Lardinus.
read pretty soon. I feel like I want to read sooner than later. Do we
Or-
have a weekend day that's better? Maybe tomorrow? I don't know.
Tomorrow's kind of booked for me. I could do Saturday midday.
I know Mauricio's schedule is iffy.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the underside of my car tomorrow.
But what
Oh,
about
well.
Saturday?
Saturday. Shit. I have to double check.
Okay.
Also, I know the underside of his car thing was like, what? He's doing car work.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Mechanically.
would imagine so, and I'm sure the car is going to be very happy for it.
It's just a very
Yeah.
intense game of hide and go seek.
I'm going to be very happy for it too, because it's going to mean that my car won't squeak anymore.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like it when the thing you're riding squeaks?
Not when it's my car.
It's a little concerning, yeah. If it was a
The
chariot
rotors
being
look a
pulled
little
by
like
giant
records.
rats, yeah. If it was a chariot being pulled by giant rats, it might be different.
Yeah, I don't
Do
want to
you
ride a chariot.
often-
Just being...
Do you often ride chariots driven by giant rats? Is this more Satil lore that we're getting dropped on us out of
100.
nowhere here?
I just
Rodents of
assume they.
unimaginable size?
I just assume they squeak, and so do the wooden wheels.
What is it in Princess Bride? Rodents of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodents of unusual size. The
Rodents
RUS.
of unusual
RUS.
size, that's it.
I said, yeah. Yep.
God, I haven't watched that movie in so long.
I have it on Blu-ray 4K, I think.
I have it on DVD.
I've got it in my head. That's about
Let's
it.
play them both at the same time and see which one's better.
Probably the 4K Blu-ray one for me
The
personally.
4K Criterion release.
Yes,
Okay.
because dirt.
Sure.
So what is this Brian of yours up to, Celine?
Well, so R.W. Bryan, because the writers, or not the writers, the voice actors for some of the Genshin Impact, so Genshin Impact voice actors in the English language are subcontracted out to a separate company that's been really screwing them over. So the actors have gone on strike long enough that the most recent Genshin Impact content doesn't have any English voice acting.
Oh,
So what he's going to do is get a few of us together, and we're going to voice act while he plays through Genshin Impact in that section of content, and just kind of bring some attention to, hey, by the way, guys, you should totally support the voice actors strike that's going on over there.
Yeah,
that is
so
wild.
that's-
I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea either. Funny what happens when you don't play Genshin Impact. But
Right?
I like voice acting, and I like Brian, so that's kind of what the plan is there.
yeah. That's
There's
a really
friend of
fun
mine
way
that's
to.
been desperately
bring-
trying to get me to play it.
Oh Lord.
I figure I'll do it next time someone gets one of those sponsorship deals where like they get points for me actually signing up and playing the game.
Oh, that's smart.
At that point, I'll join in and like they can get their rewards, and I'll suffer
And you'll try it
through
out.
the game. I've tried playing a little bit of it, and it's like, what if you took your standard run-of-the-mill Unity third-person fighting type game and added in a stamina bar for climbing? Like, I got myself killed in the tutorial area trying to climb something that was too tall.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, yes, but that was what Brian had been working on.
Yeah. That's a fun way to bring attention to that. And
Yeah.
I often also invite friends to play through and voice RPGs together and adventure games like Hotel Dusk Room 215. So
Oh, when are we doing that one?
we do that every Tuesday with Isaac and Khan.
Okay.
So yes. Wow, that screen share audio is getting super crackly. I don't know what's
Oh, is
going
it?
on. Yeah.
It does that every now and then on my computer. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It does that every now and then.
No,
That's
it happened to me on,
okay.
the other stream. Like someone else pointing out was like, "Hey, your music has gotten crackly," and I just it seems like it's halfway through whatever I'm doing, like just in general. I don't know.
It's trying its best, okay?
It is. It's coming all
Also
the way from ancient
today, speaking of RPGs, the Dragon Quest
Mm.
III, the newest, latest, and greatest version of Dragon Quest III, a very legendary game, has released today. For all platforms, I think, and it is very, very good game. Very paradigm-shifting game in the world of RPGs. So I highly recommend you check it out in any form that you play it. I'm gonna put it on my holiday list. I'll have
Ooh,
every
my
single version of
phone
Dragon
is
Quest 3, please.
Going to die.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Up is not my friend. Up is not my friend. Oh.
You
I
lose
guess
a
we're
Pokemon
not
card?
playing tennis tonight.
Do you need battery? Yeah. Hi.
I don't think
Just
we're gonna
popped
play
in.
tennis tonight.
He's walked away from the mic for a moment.
Okay.
Mitchell's trying to find out if you guys are doing tennis.
It's a good fucking question.
He says,
Yeah,
"Hey, that's a good fucking question."
I heard that. I don't
Okay.
think it's
I wasn't
happening.
sure what. I don't know what my mic picks up and what my mic does not pick
Okay.
up.
Well, he can tell me after the stream. But I don't think it's happening.
No. He
yeah.
says no.
Yeah. Plus, you have to be on your
He's
back
like
all day
limping
tomorrow.
around the
like,
house.
Yeah.
No.
My thighs are on fire.
Damn.
I did leg
So
press
were the
yesterday at
thighs
the
in the
gym.
story we just read. So
That's what's new. We got gym memberships.
Damn.
Again.
Yes.
Different gym this time.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
Does he
then-
go by James?
Yeah.
You said it's a different gym. Does he go by James?
it's Halpert.
And then when you transfer to university, you'll get another gym.
Yeah, boy. Oh
All right.
my gosh.
I'm gonna raid out to Dash Ducks. Have fun feeding the ducks.
Feed the ducks.
And later days, everybody, thank you for joining us for book 3 of the Odyssey. It's been a long time. And we'll work out another date pretty soon. I want to get rolling because I'm addicted.
Look forward to be soon.
This, and then we'll probably do it in meter next time.
Thanks everybody for joining in. I'll be looking forward to seeing you next time. Behave yourselves.
It was lots of fun. I'm gonna work on some school stuff. Night, y'all.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.